Employee of the month. Badooz does a booty kick. And then Sway Sway announces that there will be an employee of the month. What? How is there an employee of the month? There's only 2 employees. And he's not even a boss. How can he say he's not Mr. Krabs? He can't tell people if they're the employee of the month. At least in SpongeBob, there was either SpongeBob or Squidward. Sway Sway is not the boss of anyone. He cannot tell them if they're the employee of the month. So that makes it that Badooz has to be an employee of the month. And he's not even a good employee to anyone's words. Well, he's so excited for it, and then guess who wins? No, really, guess. It's not even... Never mind. The Rocket Van wins. What? That's not an employee. That's a vehicle. That's not a person. It's your vehicle that you have to rely on to deliver bread. Anyway, Badooz is ticked off and throws a whiny little temper tantrum. How is that the employee of the month? It can't talk or move without someone driving it. Huh. Badooz, you can't even be better than that darn rocket van. That's probably infinitely better than you do. Oh yeah. I saw a fart in that show. Seriously, a fart? That was so unfunny, especially that one. And they were green farts. What the? 3 of them? Seriously, those farts are the worst farts I've ever seen. Most disgusting farts. So he competes with that so-called rocket van. Those bread losers. I don't know what happens after that. I forget. Okay. 4th episode, Procrastination. Another ripoff of SpongeBob from Season 2. I mean, what's your obsession over bread? You call yourselves breadwinners? And you are so irresponsible. Yes, they have a huge mess to make and keep getting distracted. Dare you call yourselves breadwinners? You can't even take care of yourselves, let alone the world. So, before I review a few more episodes, I would like to say that the theme song is very bad. There's always too much energy over everything. Okay, the 5th episode is Stank Breath. Oh yeah, another ripoff of SpongeBob from Season 2's Something Smells. So they're apparently mining for bread. Wait, you can mine for bread? I didn't know that! Yeah! Wait, that's not cool. So in Stink Breath, they mine for bread, and then there is this stinky bread that if a monster eats this loaf and spits it out, and that happens over and over again. A monster eats it, spits it out, another monster eats, spits it out. You call yourselves breadwinners. Yeah, Badooz doesn't even know what he's doing, eats the loaf of bread, although Sway Sway warned him not to. And then he's got this stink breath, which isn't even breath. It's basically a weapon. And then they have to hide it. And it's so severe that they get grounded for personal hygiene by some random female character that I don't even know of. Wow, they're actually grounded? Who's even that character? They doesn't even sound like the Authority at all. So they have no other choice but to summon that bread maker. Rub-a-dub-dub! And apparently the bread maker says, "What's up, amigos?" And he tells them that Badooz has beakitis. They have to travel to get minty bread and encounter a Stank-osaurus. And they escape from it. Alright. One of the last episodes, I think, is Frog Day Afternoon. Alright. This is an abysmal episode, just like the rest of them. But I think the first 2 episodes were the worst. The show improved slightly a bit, but still abysmal. Everyone probably said so. Although no one in my generation knows a thing about TV shows. How sad is that? So in that show, apparently they have this pet frog named Jelly. Not a bad name compared to Sway Sway and Badooz that aren't even names. Those aren't even words. Who even made those up? Suck, and Badooz suck. Where do I begin? Okay. So, that frog just eats bees and it farts bees. What on earth? Farting bees? And then they sting Sway Sway. Wow. Just wow. Okay, and then there's this egg that they find, and they attempt to hide the egg, from Jelly, because Jelly wants the egg, and it's not hers, of course. And their assumption is that it won't hatch. And it does. It hatches this weird little monster. And then Badooz begs, Sway Sway, can we keep him, please, please? But Sway Sway, mimics the little creature. Yeah, but Badooz convinces him, and then when all these monsters appear from nowhere, it looks like they have to keep him. And then there's this crazy, silly song called Big Baby Buns, because then it reveals that this monster, so-called monster, has 3 butt cheeks. Big baby buns, big baby buns. That's actually what the song was. That was not a good song. I'm sorry. And then a massive monster comes out of nowhere, and I'll tell you what this monster is. This monster has 3 butt cheeks. What on earth? And wants its baby. Well, why didn't you just lay another egg instead of trying to kill them already? It's an egg. You can lay another egg. How long does it take you to get pregnant, you fat monster? So, she's about to eat Sway Sway and Badooz, which I think the monster is more unlikable than those 2 unlikable characters are. I don't know what you think. And then they have to ask Jelly to go fetch the baby monster. And she does. And then she spits him out. And then she says, "Oh, they fed you bread until you burped." Sorry. And she lets him live. Wow, you actually want to kill them. You're vile. You should be killed yourself, you brutal monster. And then they leave. Thank heavens they leave. And then Jelly farts out bees once again, and they sting Sway Sway. The only good part of this whole episode was, "My name is Sway Sway, I got away. That was the only good part of this entire episode. Alright, the last episode, where on earth is it? I'm sorry, I'm looking for it still. Oh yeah. Lost in the pond. So basically, they waste the gas, and their rocket van crashes, and then Badooz has to stay still for 5 hours over water, and it can't. And then they're lost. It's a pond, for Pete's sakes. You can't get lost in a pond. Wait, that wasn't even a pond. You call that a pond? That was more like an immense body of water or an immense lake. That was not a pond. Yeah, and they fall into the middle of the pond just as the gas runs out from all those silly, unnecessary tricks. Wait, what? That's not a pond? Yeah, and then they get on this boat, and Badooz becomes crazy like a caveman, and they ruin everything, and then they're finally dropped off to their house. Whatever happened to that rocket van? Plot hole. Bad songs. And there's this earwax ball at the end. That's all I have to say for this show as of now. It was a lot longer than I expected to. Sorry, my notes were all scrambled around. I must get to sleep. Wow, look at the time. I'm sorry for rambling. Good night.